throbbing with emotion. Throbbing with emotion. Throbbing with emotion.
Alright, and welcome back to AZW Pro Wrestling E-Fed Action. This is Stalwart Division, Stalwart Openweight Division Tournament action coming at you with Boomstick taking on Peenes, the Scottish Pocket Pal. And of course, Boomstick from Screw Attack. Most famous, as far as I know, for their death battles. And alongside Wiz does the commentary. And this is, in the blue hair, his E-Fed counterpart. Ooh, nice power slam. Boom, 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 boom. Punches to the face. Telling him to suck it. Lunging clothesline. Grabs. Going for a hangman neck breaker. And he got it. Though technically that's a side hangman's neck breaker. A proper hangman's neck breaker would be holding on and smacking the back of your neck across your shoulder. And that was his finisher. Dropped Boomstick. Only a little over a minute into this. Are we already going to get a 3 count?
1, 2.
No, only a 2 count there. I was going to say, Paul, he's 0-3 in this. If he goes out that fast, then he's not been looking too good already, but that would look really bad. Big punch to the face, takes Pal down. Boomstick, not taking no crap. Big stall on the suplex position there, and it is a suplex, not a brain buster or anything. Nice stalling suplex. Paul tries to hit the side Russian leg sweep, gets elbowed to the face, and just eating a bunch of slaps and chops and strikes. Knock to the outside. Boomstick doing some more taunts. If there's anybody in a promotion, and over the head, down with a big slam on the outside. Onto those rather thin black mats on the outside. Goes for another one clothesline. Looks like he might have kind of throwing him into the ring steps there. Didn't really phase him though. Back body drop. So in the middle of all the action that's going on here, the big story is, as I said, Paul is 0-3 in this tournament so far. So really, Boomstick can afford to lose this match. He's 2-1, so even if he drops to 2-2, there's only 3 people in the tournament that have a better record than 2-2, than 3-1 so far. I believe that's right. Maybe only 2. Bootsy's got 3-1. Wraith has 3-1. So no, there's only 2. Okay, I know what I was thinking. If Boomstick wins this match, he'll move up to 3-1. But even if he loses this one, and there's a nice spine buster. Countered the whip there. The Boomstick trying to nail him with something, but got caught with a spine buster. So, yeah, if Boomstick wins this one, he'll also move up to 3-1. But if he loses, he'll be at 2-2, which puts him in the same level as Wiz, who has, I believe, got 2-2 at this point.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, 2-2.
8,
Nos Critic is 2-2.
10, 11.
So,
12.
yeah, he would still be very much in the running for this tournament. 2-2's, 3-1 would be good, better, but 2-2 at this point still means everything is still to fight for. And like Paul was going for a double underhook suplex there, but got backdropped there. Boomstick running in for something. Paul tried to counter again, but Boomstick dodged around him. So, as I was saying, Boomstick can't afford to lose this match. Paul cannot. He has lost to both Bootsy and Wraith, who are both guys who are standing at 3-1 right now. This being the last of the 4th phase round matches. If Paul loses this one and goes 0-4, he is effectively eliminated, because that means that even if he wins all 3 of his final matches, or the next 3 matches in a row, 2 guys already have 3 wins under their belt that have beat him. And the way the round robin style, at least the way we're doing it, works, is that if there is a tie at the end, whoever has the win over the person they're tied with gets the win. So if, let's say that, for the sake of argument, at the end of this, for some reason, Paul, Boomstick, and Wraith all have still only got 3 wins each, and I'm not sure how that would work out, because that would mess around with all the point system. I'm not sure that it's even possible for them to be the only ones that would have 3 wins at that point. In fact, I know it's not possible. At that point, practically everybody would have only 3 points on their belt, and I would imagine somebody else would have to have 4 for that to even actually happen. So I don't even think it's possible point-wise for that to occur. But even if it somehow did, and nobody had 4 points, there was a bunch of draws, maybe that would actually allow it to happen. Really unlikely hypothetical situation, and there's Boomstick with overhead slam on the outside again. He seems to be favoring that as a way to wear Paul down. So again, very unlikely hypothetical situation here. At the end of this, somehow, and there's a baseball slide. Drops Boomstick pretty hard there on the outside. So Paul, Wraith, and Bootsy all have the 3 points at the end of this. Of course, Boomstick would as well if he beat Paul in this, so that would actually be 4 people at the end with 3 points. All 3 of the other guys have beat Paul if he loses this match, which means that that's him automatically out of it. So he has got to win this match and all 3 of his next matches to really be in the running for this tournament at all. If he loses this one, he's effectively eliminated, because there's no way he can win it on getting more points at all. And as I was saying, even taking the points out of the equation, he has lost to at least 2 other people. And again, if he loses this one, that's 3 people who will have the same points as him. As I said, even if somehow they all ended up with 3 points at the end and everybody else somehow had just 1 less point. Well, 3 wins, that's 6 points. Everybody else would have to have one with 5 points, which, as I said, I don't think is even possible at this point. In fact, I know it's not. Because even for Wraith to... Yeah, because Boomstick hasn't faced up against Wraith yet, so one of them has to win that match. So one of them, by default, would be going up to 4 wins in that match. And Bootsy has faced off against Wraith and Boomstick so far. So it would be theoretically possible for him to stay at 3. But as I said, Boomstick hasn't faced off against Wraith yet. So, yeah, one of them is, if Boomstick wins this match, either he or Wraith will end up with 4 points at the end of this. So if Paul loses this match, he's done. He has to finish out the tournament. It's contractually obliged because he can't screw over everybody else just to suit himself. And let's be honest here, nobody wants to be in a tournament and be the only guy to get 0 wins. So there's a lot at stake for Paul in this match. While Boomstick wants that win, doesn't have to have it. Less pressure on him, which could mean things are in his favor, but at the same time, Paul wants it a lot more. He needs it. So that could give him an edge here. And he has been fighting hard. This has actually been a pretty good long match for the average in this tournament so far has been about 7-ish minutes, 7-8 minutes, which I think is acceptable, you know. For a pretty hard-hitting tournament. Most of these matches have been pretty rough on the guys, and not a whole lot of rest-up period between them. You know, we've been trying to give them some time to rest in between matches since we don't have a real tight schedule that we have to fit to. Oh, but there's Drop the Boomstick right there. Busts Powell open. I think Paul's done. I mean, he's just dead weight there. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Paul is eliminated from the tournament. But we'll have to see how he does in his last 3 matches. Maybe he'll go ahead and win at least some of those. Maybe just out of spite to keep the other guys from getting even any more points. If nothing else, he doesn't want to go 0 wins altogether in this tournament. At least he can get some wins in, hopefully, for him. So, there you have it, folks. Our first certain elimination of the tournament. Paul Peenes, the Scottish Pocket Paul, is finished. But that still leaves, as I said, Bootsy is 3-1. He's beaten Paul, Wraith, and Nostalgia Critic. He lost to Boomstick. Wiz beat Boomstick, lost to Angry Video Game Nerd, lost to Wraith, beat Pocket Paul for 2-2. Boomstick, as I said, he's beat Bootsy. He's beat Angry Video Game Nerd. He just took down Paul. Beat Bootsy, lost to Wiz, beat the Angry Video Game Nerd, and has beaten Paul. So that's 3-1. Nos Critic lost to Bootsy. ended up with the win against Angry Video Game Nerd in their rematch at Nefarious for November. Lost to... Let's see. Hold on a second here. Lost to Bootsy. Beat Angry Video Game Nerd. Beat Roughhouse Jolly. Lost to Wraith for 2-2. Oh, I accidentally skipped Angry Video Game Nerd there. He's beat Wiz, lost to Boomstick. Has the lost to Nos Critic, but beat Roughhouse Jolly for 2-2. Roughhouse Jolly is standing at 1-3, I believe, with the loss to Angry Video Game Nerd, a loss to Nos Critic. A loss to Wraith, but he beat Pocket Paul. And then, of course, that is Pocket Paul going 0-4. So that is the state of the tournament so far. And that wraps up the 4th phase of matches. So next time we'll be moving into the 5th phase. And I believe our first match for that will be... Let's see, the matches are going to be Nos Critic and Wiz, Roughhouse Jolly and Bootsy. Paul will be taking on Angry Video Game Nerd, and Wraith will be taking on Boomstick. So we try not to do the guys that have just had matches. So Boomstick and Paul will probably be going later on. I believe the next one will probably be Nos Critic and Wiz. And then probably Angry Video Game Nerd and Paul. No, that'll be later. It'll be Wraith and Boom. No. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. No, it'll be Bootsy and Wraith. Bootsy and Roughhouse Jolly first. Nos Critic and Wiz after them, probably. Then we'll probably go ahead and be doing Paul and AVGN, and then finish it up with Boomstick and Wraith. Try and give everybody time to rest up in between their matches. So that's the state of the tournament so far and the lineup for the 5th round. We'll see you there, folks. Bye-bye.